operate tomorrow, and we'll get off the ground and be on our way with no conflict. So that's plan one. Our crew is trained and ready to go on board. Jack will be prime on the Jack Fisher prime on the SSRMS capture. That'll occur Wednesday morning, bright and early. And then, as typical with SpaceX Dragons, we move that into Node 2 Nadir. Our planned hatch opening won't occur until the very next day, although I think the crew is aware that there are some frozen treats on this particular mission, so I wouldn't be surprised if they work long in the day and try to open a hatch and enjoy some, I'll say, well-deserved frozen, ice cream, food, and frozen bars that we have on the mission for them. So we'll just see how that plays out. But knowing that crew, I can imagine them getting in, and we'll be ready to do that. The cream payload is in the trunk, ready to go. Somewhere in the first couple weeks of the mission, we'll pull that out with the SSRMS, the big arm. We then hand that off to the Japanese remote manipulator system, the GEM arm, and then our JAXA buddies will install that onto the exposed facility, and that's where Cream will live for the next several years, conducting the research that it plans to do. Mission duration is a little bit over 30 days, and pretty much nowadays we let the research side drive our mission duration. Obviously, we need to live within constraints of the Dragon, so this will probably be a little bit over 30-day mission to get all the research done and then returned home. Our return cargo is also almost extensively research, and so we're very, very proud of that. We've worked out with SpaceX. When Dragon splashes down, we get the Dragon back to the port, and we are actually turning over some portion of our early return cargo to the research community right there at the port, so then they can take it and start their immediate analysis of the results that they found. So overall, we're looking for a great mission and again, with a quick handover to the research community. We are working one issue on board the International Space Station. It doesn't have an impact for the flight, but it's something you'll probably see us turn up our gain. We have 2 S-band antennas, which is how we do command and telemetry with the vehicle. We have a RPC, which is powered. The S-band antenna and the equipment itself are just fine. We have a power control module that has been a little bit finicky over the last couple of weeks. We've closed it. It stayed closed. It's tripped. It stayed open after we tried to reclose it several times. It stayed closed for like 4 or 5 days. And so then it just popped back open last night. So we do like to have 2 strings going into a mission. We have that with our KU band capability as well. We can send commands, telemetry up that stream. So from a redundancy aspect, we're just fine for this mission, but it is something that we'll likely get the SPDM Dexter out, get an RPCM from a location on the truss, swap that power module out, and be on our way. So it won't require an EVA. We plan to do that robotically, and we'll just have to figure out a time to go do that. Looking ahead, as far as other major activities, as I mentioned, the Russian EVA on the 17th, that'll be with Fyodor and Sergey. They plan to retrieve some research that's out on their segment, as well as deploying 5 satellites while they're out on EVA. So they'll be setting those adrift overboard as part of their experiment. And like I said, they're going to be bringing in some other research from the mission. Peggy, Fyodor, and Jack, our 50S return is still planned for September 2nd, so we're looking forward to get them back. 52S launch on 9/13. That's with Mark, Joe, and Alexander. Everything is progressing well for that Soyuz launch. So again, we'll dip down to a crew of 3 for a while, then we'll get right back up to 4 USS, crew of 6, and 4 of those being 4 USOS crew members. So again, that'll really help us out from the research going forward, having a full crew on board the International Space Station working on it from the USOS side. And then we have a progress launch on October 12th. Orbital ATK mission. The 8th flight will occur on November 10th out of Wallops, and so we're preparing the cargo for that mission now. And the other thing is, recently we decided to perform a triple EVA, and so that'll occur probably in the late October, early November. Content of those EVAs is still being finalized, but the main thing we plan to do is change out on the SSRMS on the latching end effector, which is kind of one of its base end. We'll end up swapping one of those SSRMS